Ankalaev falou que prometeu que me nocautear. Para mim não importa o que ele pensa. Eu sempre quero ganhar, né? Me preparo para isso.
He's a true one-punch knockout artist. He has the touch of death. The grappling is improving all the time. But Magomed Ankalaev, this could be the toughest test yet, because when you look at Magomed Ankalaev, he's a big guy. He's a real light heavyweight with an incredible record of 19 wins, 1 loss.
I love how Ankalaev is just like setting death threats, dude.
What is he?
I love it because it's not corny. It's not big. He's just like full locked in, brother. I'm coming to kill you. Like that's it. Like
I think Pereira time coming up.
You think he's gonna get the job done?
No. I think his time is coming up where he's gonna lose that belt.
Oh, so you think it might be over with Magomed?
I think so, bro. I think so. But
you know, if Ankalaev doesn't back up his words with action, people already know how I humiliate my opponents. Sometimes I joke around and all, but this time, I'm really gonna mess with this guy to the fullest. Let's see if his words mean anything.
The highly anticipated showdown between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev is just a few weeks away, and the tension is sky high. These two will try to take down each other in the main event of UFC 313 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The fight is scheduled for the 8th of March, and the holy month of Muslims Ramadan has also begun, so Ankalaev, being a Muslim, will train for this fight without missing his fasts. Ankalaev is the only Dagestani fighter who is fighting in Ramadan, but he believes fighting in this month will give him more confidence, and he is ready for this challenge.
Ну, как бойца, вера мы всегда ставим выше всего. Победа, которую дает, победа дает Всевышний. Рамадан это для мусульманина как бы священный месяц, месяц прощения. Именно месяц Рамадан, говорят, Всевышний прощает своих рабов.
Magomed Ankalaev knows it would be difficult to train because you are not allowed to eat or drink anything during the fast. However, the Dagestani has huge faith that he will be able to overcome this challenge and claim victory at UFC 313. He has always refused to fight in Ramadan, but he doesn't want to leave this opportunity and is hoping to become the new light heavyweight champion.
Я никогда не бился в Рамадан. Мы всегда отказывались от боев в этом месяце, который мы, мусульмане, должны как бы поститься. Он это знает. Он думает, что у него есть какой-то шанс выиграть меня. Но я думаю, мы покажем обратное, что это испытание сделает нас сильнее. Результат будет на моей стороне.
Magomed Ankalaev is ready to do whatever it takes to snatch that light heavyweight title from Poatan. Ankalaev said that he is not underestimating his opponent, but he knows what he is capable of and how he will beat the champion.
You know, as we said before, the people's opinions change. People say whatever they have to say, but it's not like we're saying that, oh, we can only wrestle him. I'm not underestimating my skills as a striker myself. I can strike with him, I can wrestle with him. What I know is this is the most important fight in my life, and this is the kind of opportunity that we don't get a lot, so I will do whatever I can to get that victory in whatever key factor that I have to do, whether it's wrestling or striking.
However, Alex Pereira is waiting to knock out Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 313. Recently, the UFC 313 countdown video was released, and Alex Pereira was looking pretty confident for this fight in that video. He wants to surprise the Dagestani with his unmatched skills and power.
Porque eu acho que eu impondo o meu ritmo ali do strike. Eu não sei se ele vai se dar bem, eu não tenho essa certeza, mas se as coisas ali não for bem pra ele, eu acho que ele vai tentar algo, né? Tentar me colocar pra baixo, e é onde que eu vou estar mostrando o meu jogo. E é onde que eu vou surpreender ele.
However, Magomed Ankalaev has no pressure for this fight. He says he will give his 100% inside the cage, and he warns his opponent to knock him out using his wrestling.
Если я буду биться в стойке, он будет биться в стойке. Если я захочу борьбу, будет борьба. Там 100% победа будет на нашей стороне.
Alex Pereira was initially not ready to fight Ankalaev, but with the efforts of UFC, this fight was made possible. So the Dagestani fighter declared that if he becomes the champion, he will give a rematch to the current champ, and he has never backed off from giving rematches to the deserving fighters. Magomed Ankalaev said, "You know, when it comes to me, I have never said no to rematches, right? So there are 2 already in my career, I think. Somebody said they deserve a rematch right away, and I gave him the chance. So if it comes to me, and I am the one who decides whether he gets the opportunity for a rematch right away, of course, I will say yes." The Russian fighter has been training hard for this fight, and he is putting some extra pressure on the champ with tweets. Ankalaev has predicted an early finish against Pereira. Magomed Ankalaev tweeted, "Training camp's finish. I'm ready for war. Saturday night, I will change this guy's face at UFC 313. I'm looking for a finish from the first minute." Magomed Ankalaev said that he doesn't care if Alex Pereira takes his tweets personally or not. Ankalaev got this opportunity after a huge wait, and now he doesn't want to waste any single chance to mock the champ. He said that he will continue to target Pereira on social media as it increases the anticipation of this fight as well.
Ну, я не знаю, как он принимает. Мы принимаем этот бой как последний бой, так как я этого боя заслуживал долго, и мне не давали шанса биться с ним. Но сейчас выпал такой шанс, и я не собираюсь его упускать. Мы сделаем все, что в наших силах. И мне не важно, как он воспринимает это, принимает он близко к сердцу или нет. Но все равно мы говорим, мы делаем.
On the other hand, the light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira is also excited for this fight. He knows that Ankalaev is a good fighter, but Pereira is confident that he is motivated for this epic encounter. Alex Pereira said, "I don't know if he is good if he is not. I think he didn't show much either in his fights, but they say he is very good at grappling and this and that. I think I'm okay with this. I'm ready. I think this is the fight that motivates me. I already wanted this fight, right?" Pereira further said that he trained hard for this fight and is ready to defend his title at UFC 313. Alex Pereira added, "But I think things happen at the right time, and I think this is my best moment. I'm focused on training, and I'm motivated for this fight." The MMA pros are also excited about this fight and are giving their valuable predictions for this showdown. Tim Welch speaks out about Magomed Ankalaev's chances against Alex Pereira. The coach of Sean O'Malley believes Potan has the upper hand in this fight, but the Dagestani has the ability to surprise him. According to Welch, Ankalaev is a good fighter, and the only way he can beat Pereira is by taking him down.
Oh man, that one's risky. And if Magomed comes out there and he tries to strike with Alex Pereira, which I feel like he might, then it's going to be, I think, a bad night for him. But if he comes out, wrestles him, zaps his arms, forces him, maybe gets takedowns, not to just hold him down and not to just ride him, but take him down, make him work up. Take him down, make him work up. Put him against the fence, pin his arms, take a little bit of explosiveness out of his arms. I think Magomed could win, but I'm pushing for Alex Pereira to win.
Welch acknowledged the skill set of the Dagestani fighter, but he feels Alex Pereira is a way ahead at the moment. He knows that even a single well-landed punch from the champ can finish the fight instantly.
Do you think Pereira wins though?
I think it depends on Magomed's game plan. And again, we were sitting next to Alex Pereira at UFC, the last UFC, and his fists are as big as my head. His fists are as big as my head. He's got like these big wrists and these big joints. Like, you can see why he thuds so hard. So one shot from Pereira and the whole thing can change. So I think Pereira's gonna win.
The UFC lightweight fighter Grant Dawson was not impressed with Magomed Ankalaev's recent performances. He picked Pereira to defend his title, and he believes, apart from the wrestling, Ankalaev doesn't have any special skills to beat the champs.
I'm going Alex, man. I definitely think, I think Magomed could get it done, or whatever his name. I think he could get it done with his wrestling, but I saw what I saw with him against Jan Blachowicz. I'm just not impressed with him, man. I actually thought Jan won the fight. I'm just not impressed with him. I think Alex could get it done. If you tell me that he takes Alex down and rides him out for 4 rounds, I could see it, but I'm picking Alex.
The UFC middleweight fighter Andre Petroski knows Alex Pereira has the upper hand in this fight, but he also believes Ankalaev can't be underestimated. According to Petroski, Ankalaev has a slight chance to beat Poatan by using his wrestling.
Ankalaev can win this fight so easily, but I'm sure everyone's seen the interview where he talks about how he's going to knock him out. So that doesn't give me much hope. But if he just goes out and wrestles, I think he can beat Pereira relatively easily.
Andre Petroski said Ankalaev will easily get knocked out by Pereira if he decides to challenge him in striking. The middleweight fighter admires the wrestling and grappling of the Dagestani fighter and names them as his key weapons against the champ.
Well, he doesn't really wrestle that much. I guess he has wrestling, but he does. It seemed like, for example, in the Rakic fight, I think he just stood and traded with him. But you're right. Like, if he decides to do that against Pereira, that's probably a terrible idea, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that one goes. But
Yeah.
do you think Ankalaev can beat him, or do you think Pereira will still have his number? Because the fight starts standing, right?
I think if Ankalaev tries to strike with him, I think Pereira will beat him. Will probably knock him out. But if he grapples him, I think he can easily beat Pereira.
What do you think's more likely to happen?
I mean, based on his interview, I'd say he's going to stand and trade with him. Unless
Fair
he's
enough.
just saying that, which I would give him kudos for that. Just to sell the fight and go out and make everyone pissed.
Another middleweight fighter, Mansur Abdulmalik, shared his verdict on this fight. Unlike Petroski, Abdulmalik is hoping for Ankalaev's win at UFC 313. He backs the Dagestani fighter, but Mansur also knows how ruthless and powerful Alex Pereira is. So he is excited for this fight and hoping for a close encounter.
Man, I don't know. I've seen so I've actually done some cross training at Extreme Couture, and this was like 1.5 years ago or so. It was a while ago, but I saw Ankalaev, kind of spar in person, and he's a scary dude, man. That's such a toss up. I mean, prior fights want to tell me Pereira, but I don't know, man. That's a tough one to call. I'm a big fan of both of those guys.
The former UFC light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz also explained the game plan that can help Magomed Ankalaev in his upcoming fight at UFC 313. He advises Ankalaev to make some changes in his fighting style if he wants to beat the UFC light heavyweight champion. Jan Blachowicz said, "If Ankalaev fights like the last fight with Rakic, he's going to lose the fight. He needs to do something more. He is a good fighter, but it's not enough for Pereira in this kind of style. He needs to change." Blachowicz has fought with both Pereira and Ankalaev, so he has a better idea about their skills. He has some concerns after watching Ankalaev's performance against Alexander Rakic at UFC 308. The Polish fighter doesn't think that Ankalaev can beat Poatan with such a fighting style. According to Blachowicz, Ankalaev needs to evolve his skills to have some chances against the light heavyweight champion. Jan Blachowicz further stated he needs to be more. He has to believe in what he's doing. I think he doesn't believe it. He just wants to win the fight, but doesn't take too many punches. He is very careful in what he's doing, and I think this kind of way fighting with Pereira will not work. Jan Blachowicz said Magomed Ankalaev has a very boring style, and he first needs to change that at UFC 313.
Do you think he will fight that way against Pereira? Do you think we'll see him, a better version of him, when he fights Pereira?
He said the same before Rakic that we're gonna see like a new Ankalaev, but everybody see this fight was a very boring fight. I almost go to sleep.
If you had to pick though, if they were fighting, would you pick Pereira?
Right now, Pereira. 3 fights ago, I would pick Ankalaev, now Pereira.
Robert Whittaker also shared his verdict on this fight. He believes Alex Pereira has the upper hand against the Dagestani fighter. Robert feels that the only way to beat the champ is by charging at the champ through wrestling right from the beginning.
I'm gonna go Pereira.
It's hard to write him off, right? Like he keeps proving himself.
I just don't. Like I said, if Ankalaev doesn't drop level within in the first 3 minutes, I don't think he makes it out of the first round. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be striking with that guy.
Yeah.
Period. He hits like a truck. He's very comfortable and confident at standing. So yeah, you have to get him on his back in that first round.
Alex Pereira has never been knocked out in the UFC, and Robert Whittaker praised the champ for that. Whittaker admitted that Poatan is definitely the favorite in this fight, and he will defend his title at UFC 313.
Ankalaev has never been knocked out, right? And I don't know his full kind of fight history, whether he's ever been wobbled. I'm sure he has at some stage. It's just that Alex Pereira's power is so freaking scary, especially that left hook.
Had Yuri been knocked out before Pereira? You know what I mean?
That's a really good question. He definitely had been hit
think so.
like a really hard. Yeah.
But no one could put him away. I remember sitting cage side when he fought Glover, and like I'm sure Yuri was knocked out standing up like at one point. But you know what I mean? It's I don't know. Like Pereira brings a definite X element into the game.
Meanwhile, Yuri Prochazka has some interesting thoughts about this fight. He said Alex Pereira has a high chance of winning if Ankalaev keeps this fight strictly stand up. He thinks that the Dagestani fighter can only win the title by using his ground game where he holds his power. Yuri Prochazka in an interview: "If Ankalaev will keep his word, because I'm the man who's taking a word seriously. If you say something and he says he will fight with Alex just in stand-up, if he'll keep his word, I think Alex will win. I see him like most power. The biggest strength is in the ground." Meanwhile, Bo Nickal is backing Magomed Ankalaev in this fight. He is very confident that Ankalaev will take down Alex Pereira. He rates Ankalaev as a better striker than a wrestler. According to Nickal, with his wrestling, Ankalaev has a great chance of beating the light heavyweight champion.
I think Ankalaev's a smart guy. He's going to take him down. It's got to, right? He's just going to take him down. I don't think his wrestling is unbelievable. He's not a wrestler. People think, oh, Russian wrestler. No, he's not a wrestler.
I'm still going Pereira.
I think Pereira's going to win as well. If Ankalaev just wrestles the whole fight, he could probably win. But I don't think his wrestling is that good. He wrestled with Paul Craig, and Paul Craig was taking him down.
Yeah.
Craig ended up submitting him. Not impressed with his ground game, his grappling. He's going to have to strike with him at some point, and I think Pereira will knock him out. That's just the reality of the situation.
If Ankalaev beats Alex Pereira by the transitive property of geometric shapes,
I'm the 205 champ.
You are the 205 champ.
Yeah. That's a good point. Let's go Ankalaev. I want that belt.
However, the UFC featherweight fighter Youssef Zalal has a different opinion. He thinks Alex Pereira is a better fighter, and he will easily beat Magomed Ankalaev on the 8th of March. Youssef backs Potan to register yet another title defense, as the fighter has successfully defended his title 4 times.
Bro, I gotta go with my boy Pereira, bro. That boy, man, left hook, Chama.
Similarly, Stephen Thompson also predicted an Alex Pereira win at UFC 313. He said that the light heavyweight champion will defeat Magomed Ankalaev to continue his reign as the champion of this division.
You gotta go Pereira. You gotta go Pereira, dude. The dude's so dominant. He's so dominant. He beats guys before they even step out there, I think. I mean, you saw it against Yuri Prochazka. He beats him with his Brazilian magic.
Furthermore, Cody Steele also wants Alex Pereira to prove his skills once again and defend his title. The UFC lightweight fighter predicts an easy win for the champ on the 8th of March.
I like Alex Pereira. I think hopefully he can get it done and then he wins that fight.
Merab Dvalishvili's coach, John Wood, expressed his thoughts about this fight. He acknowledged the power and style of the champ. Wood has no hesitation in predicting the winner of this fight, as he sees Alex Pereira as the clear dominant fighter in this fight. He admitted that Potan is almost unbeatable at the moment.
Until I see the chink in the armor for Pereira, he's got to that status where you don't bet against him. I wouldn't. Until I see somebody figure out that puzzle of how do I deal with that power and that pressure, and then obviously seeing him up close and personal, he's kind of got that thing that Rob has where maybe the stuff doesn't look so pretty until you see it and see how he makes it work. Holy shit, being cage side changed my perspective on Pereira and how good he is, so I think he's walking out of that with the title still.
Alex Pereira has been the go-to pick of most of the fighters, and Gilbert Burns is no different. The UFC welterweight fighter has predicted an exciting fight at the main event of UFC 313. He praised the skills and relentless power of Potan. Burns also knows that Magomed Ankalaev is not an easy opponent, but he believes that the light heavyweight champion has the talent of winning fights under pressure situations. Gilbert Burns stated, "I think Potan does Potan, He's gonna do all that chama this and that, and he is gonna win. But Ankalaev is a tough dude, One thing I like is when you start to look at both fighters, Ankalaev had a problem with Blachowicz. So when Blachowicz was kicking him, so if that's the case, Potan kicks way harder, but that guy has a big head, Well, this is all we have from today's video, and hopefully you have enjoyed it. Share your thoughts and predictions about this fight in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get instant notification about our latest videos.